Hello, I'm your boy Brugly, and in this video I'm going to be going over a Backrooms level that will cause you nothing but existential dread. It's dark, it's empty, it's devoid of life, except you and the remains of those who came before you. This level consumes anyone who enters it, and it swallows them whole. It's not the entities that you have to worry about, it's everything else. And today, I will be taking a look at the anomalous level known only as the Whisper. And after the video's over, you will see why you should run if you ever hear the Whisper in the Backrooms. This level has a content warning at the very start of the page, so that's all you need to hear. You know levels with content warnings are bangers, and if that sounds cool to you, stick around for my explanation, leave a like if you end up enjoying it, and without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? This level begins with a strange note that was found on the level, written by someone or something known as Mommy. And as weird as that sounds, here's how it goes. A mysterious caller told me that you were here. I did not believe it at first. I thought this place was just a silly little forum you and your friends were a part of to express your creativity and hang out online. I would do anything to cradle you in my arms again. I did everything I could to get here, but I was not prepared for the horrors that lurked here. If this is where you are, I fear this will be our final resting place. The only thing I regret is not finding you, so you would not be alone here. Mommy is so sorry. I do not know if I can find you here, but I have not given up on trying. If I did not make this clear, I love you. Mommy loves you. So as strange and weird as that sounds, and as odd as it is for me to say mommy over and over again alone in my office, the identity of this mom character is unknown. We have no idea. But the message itself was found carved into the bark of a tree here on this level. And that tree had various dolls hanging off the limbs, which I'll explain later, and which is not terrifying literally at all. Totally not. It's completely normal to have, dolls hanging off of trees and weird notes from mommy. That's great. Level the Whisper has been given a threat index rating of class 5E for its environment being the dangerous thing here. Like I said, it's not entities that's really the bad thing, it's the environment. It's very unstable for human life due to the mental effects that it provides people. The Whisper level is known to be a secret location deep within the Backrooms complex. It's almost like a hidden sublayer in a way. And it's known for causing dangerous thoughts to occur in the minds of people who explore it. Thoughts to end your own self, if you know what I'm saying. Those thoughts are due to the level's isolation, deep away from everybody else, and also due to the effects that it gives you. But the level is described like this. The Whisper appears as an empty, ethereal forest made out of petrified trees and decaying ferns and scrub grass and other brush. Throughout this forest, there are stagnant swamps and bogs and lakes and rivers. All of them are basked in this ethereal, blue, misty atmosphere because the sky from above glows that cold blue color. And because of that, there is hardly any actual light that seeps through the canopy of trees. It's very hard to see in front of you. Everything is dark and blue. The size of the forest is unknown. It might be infinite, it might just be huge, and you really can't tell how big it is because you probably won't make it that far, but it's been described as foreboding and forsaken by those who have survived it. The air through this forest is frigid and sharp, and when it rustles through the old dead trees, you can kind of hear whispers on the air. You can hear the creaking of the dead timber and the groaning roots that hold them up. You'll likely get a cold chill down your spine just from being in this forest. The Whisper has no natural wildlife. There's no entities, there's nothing. You might on rare occasion look off into the forest ahead of you inside of the blue mist, and you might see what you think is a silhouette of another wanderer, but just when you focus on it, it'll fade into the fog out of sight, leaving you confused. The beginning of the level is just as I've described. It's simple, it's not really dangerous, it's just a cold blue forest. But deeper into this damp wilderness, you might find a disturbing sight. Abandoned homes will begin to pop up amongst the trees, and these are dark and ancient places. They're ominous to even be around and look at, and it's not recommended to go inside of them because you might really not like what you find in them, I'm gonna be honest. It's said that these houses swallow those who go inside, and sounds of shrieking and crying can be heard echoing from their basements. Cool. It's near these houses where you might take your first really disgusting discovery. Viewer discretion is advised for the next like 2 minutes if you do not like guts or blood. You've been warned. Near the abandoned ruins out on the marshy forest floors, you might find what used to be human bodies, broken and shattered beyond recognition. Pools of liquids and tissues seeping and growing around them. On the houses and trees and branches nearby, you might see splattered remains on those walls and limbs. Cutting through the freezing cold temperature will be the disgusting stench of decomposition and rot. At this point, you'll become more aware of your surroundings, and you'll start to look at what's underneath you, what's above you, what's around you, and you'll notice that this scene is all over the level. And it's not just near the houses, it's out in the forests, it's in the rivers, it's in the lakes. Dozens and dozens of what used to be people, mushy and bloated with rot and maggots. Liquid bile and wet tree sap stick together, and you run through this as you walk, and your hands become sticky and your feet become sticky, and moss and roots grow around and encapsulate the old people. It's very disturbing to see, and it's almost like the level is consuming the wanderers, as if the ground itself is using roots to digest them. The smell is so bad that it punctures your nose and your brain. The blue lakes and streams are barely lit up enough to see what's even in them, but from what you can see, bodies in the lakes, bodies in the trees, bodies in the rivers, whispers from decaying things, old and rotten. At this point, if you can make it through all that, you're probably going to start hallucinating just a little bit. Just a little bit. You might see a human silhouette, you might see like something else off in the mist, but we don't know if they're real. I can't really tell you for sure, but you'll be so distracted by the smell and, you know, the body parts that's everywhere that you won't really care about whatever it is. You'll also begin to hear more whispers, audible whispers this time. The beings off in the mist are talking to you. Some of them are cursing the Backrooms. Some are confessing their sins to the level. Some are apologizing to people that you don't know. Some are blaming others for this fate. Some are embracing death, and some are blaming you. These whispers are all coming from indiscernible places, these dashing silhouettes just out of reach in the mist. Or it could be from the people in the ground or in the trees or being drugged down underneath the water. It's just this disturbing sight of morbidity. It's a living blue hell. That's exactly what it is. And if you pay attention to where those whispers are coming from, you might see those outlines or those shadows despawning themselves. I can't go into too much detail there, but that's what you might see. And I know I hate saying despawning, but YouTube will literally ban the video. They've done it before like 4 times to me if I said the real word, so I can't. Survivors of the Whisper say that the ground of the forest is clogged with corpses. They say that there's dolls hanging from trees everywhere here, and like wind chimes, when the wind blows through the dolls, you can hear them talking to you. All of this, everything I just described, will make your mind a terrible place. You will slip into a really bad area. Overwhelming anxiety and paranoia will just come over you, and you can't see far ahead. There's not enough light. You smell death, you see it all around you, and it's happening right in front of you, and all you can do is be stuck here. If somehow you make it beyond all of what I just described without going insane, the level will reward you by sending you out all the way back to level 0 so you can start over again. Nice. But to enter this level, a wanderer must be experiencing severe mental degradation, where they're in an awful headspace, and the Backrooms is just kind of sensing this, and they'll kind of send you here as a sort of purgatory or like blue hell. This bad headspace could be caused by an anxiety-filled level or literally any other thing like that, so it's kind of common to happen. But to exit, you have to make it through the blue dark forest and all the stuff that's happening, all the corpse stuff and all the dolls and everything. You have to make it through it all, and then you'll be sent out to level 0 to start it over again. Some people say that if you do not make it out of this level, and it's your last resting place, then your soul will leave your body and be bound to one of those dolls that's hanging from the trees. And whatever your final words were will be carved in that tree that you're hanging on, which that's probably where we get that mommy note from the beginning, so I'm just gonna put a guess there, yeah. But that's pretty awful. I don't want my soul to be in a doll, okay? But if that does happen to you, you'll just be another whisper in a long line of them that echo through this level. So yeah, that was it for that cheery, awesome, happy video. If you made it all the way through that disgustingness, first of all, I'm proud of you. And It was disturbing to script and read, definitely. Go check out the actual page if you want the full terminology and stuff that I can't say here on YouTube. Had to leave some stuff out because it does get pretty gory. Yeah, do all that in the description below. While you're down there, check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my other channel, Spoogly, all that stuff. We're making big moves here on YouTube, and I cannot wait to show you what I got coming on. We're almost to Backrooms, by the way, which, again, I know I say it every video, but I'm super excited for it. Thank you so much for everything. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. It really helps the algorithm, really helps me out, and I appreciate you. Thank y'all for everything you do, and I will see you in the next video.